this theory, and by showing a connection between work in capitalist institutions and the emergence or strengthening of religion. What this theory tells is that religion cannot solve anything. Religion does not solve anything as such, but it creates a false belief in which people in hopeless conditions survive. It keeps people under hope so that they can work. At least a minimum number of people can provide work to the capitalist class and the system runs. Because if people become really frustrated and hopeless, they understand that they are living in a hopeless situation. They will go mad, they will commit suicide, they may not work. That if despite work we are living in this miserable condition, why should we work? Let us fight the capitalists. They can start organizing. They can destroy the capitalist system. This is not what capitalists want. Capitalists or those who manage society, the rulers, they want that people survive, a minimum number of people survive and continue to work in the same wretched condition. So people are unhappy, we have not been getting promotion. Or somebody is unhappy that other friends of his who did graduation from the same college with same marks are earning so much. I have been working as a bank clerk for last 2-3 decades, 3 decades. I am not, despite all the efforts I make in passing the exam, I am not passing the exam. I remain clerk for 30 years. What should I do? So, what society should do to such a worker, that some close relative or wife or children or neighbors must tell the worker that if you go to Nasik and have darshan of Shirdi ka Sai Baba, then your promotion is pakka. So the person feels very happy. Maybe it takes 6 months for him to get railway reservation or go for the darshan, but these 6 months are passed in a condition of happiness, a false happiness. He is not getting promotion. He will not get promotion in these 6 months also. But this generates hope. He has darshan, comes back, prepares again for the exam, that this time he will be promoted. He is not promoted again because religion doesn't help. You are going to Shirdi ka Sai Baba or you are going to Badrinath or Ajmer Sharif or some other mazar or plant or animal will not help. Maybe it will help. This is Marxist theory. I am illustrating Marxist theory. If you believe, you go to Shirdi ka Sai Baba. I don't know. But Marxist or sociological theory will say that this will not help. It only creates a false belief. Okay. Maybe the person is promoted or maybe the person is not promoted after the exam. If the person is promoted, then his religious belief gets strengthened. Promotion or passing has actually, objectively speaking, nothing to do with going to Shirdi ka Sai Baba. But still he will either be promoted or he will not be promoted. If he is promoted, his religious belief is strengthened. If he is not promoted, he is dejected. Again somebody will tell him, I understand that you are passing through a bad time. Your planetary positions are not good. Shukra Budh mein kuch kar raha hai, Budh Mangal mein, Rahu ye kar raha hai. You have problems. But let me tell you that there is one very great Guruji in Faizabad. Why don't you go and consult that Guruji in Faizabad? So the only change that has taken place, that in place of going to Shirdi ka Sai Baba, now he is going to Guruji of Faizabad. But in some other form, that religion perpetuates. Okay. So this is Marxist theory. And Marx says that religion also maintains the value system of society. Let me just refer to some religions. I have brought something from 4 major world religions. Let me begin with Buddha. There are 4 tenets, 4 principles in Buddhist philosophy, Buddhist religion. Life as we know it ultimately is or leads to suffering, uneasiness, in bracket, dukkha. Buddhism. बुद्धिज्म ने तो सबसे पहले हाथ खड़े कर दिए, ये जीवन दुख का ही नाम है. मतलब नो प्रिटेंशन एट ऑल. If you are unhappy in capitalist or if you are unhappy in the present exploitative system, remember that people have always been unhappy. There was no time when people were happy. So life is dukkha. Okay. But people may not be satisfied. If you tell somebody that life is dukkha, he will not be satisfied. He wants to do something to come out of dukkha. Then Buddha will say, suffering is caused by craving. Because you desire something, you suffer. Craving. So second concept, craving. Craving can be of any type. Your promotion, good wife, sons, land, money, political power, anything. Because you crave for something, you are dukhi. This is often expressed as a deluded clinging to a certain sense of existence, to self-hood, or to the things or phenomena that we consider the cause of happiness or unhappiness. We think that if we reach there, we will be happy, and therefore we are unhappy. Craving also has its negative aspect. That is, one craves that a certain state of affairs not exist. If this does not happen, then I will be happy. Sometimes we think that if this happens, we will be happy. Sometimes we think if this does not happen, we will be happy. So I will be happy if I do not get a fail grade in sociology course. Desire. And this desire will keep me unhappy. The moment then what is the way to become happy? I should not desire to clear sociology course in summer. I will be happy. If I think that I must clear the course or I must get A grade or negative, I must not get F grade. In both the cases, I am unhappy. So, how to end suffering? Suffering ends when craving ends. Means suffering is individual. You suffer because you desire. You are dukhi, all of us are dukhi. But why are we dukhi? Looked at, okay, let me complete this, then I will tell you. Suffering ends when craving ends. Reaching this liberated state is achieved by following the path laid down by the Buddha. Follow Buddha. So, follow Buddha. That means if you want to be happy, you must follow Buddha. Those who do not follow Buddha, or those who desire something, or those who desire not to desire something or not to have something in life, they will be dukhi. If you are a Buddhist, I do not want to hurt your sentiments, maybe what I am saying is wrong. This is knowledge, knowledge is all production of mind. Buddha says that everything is production of mind and nothing is right or wrong. So, if you are a Buddhist, then you should not accept what I am saying. But one Buddhist scholar, last century has produced remarkable scholars in our country. Not only in the field of politics, but also in the field of religion, literature. One of the greatest persons this country has produced in the last century was Rahul Sankirtan. Not many people know about Rahul Sankirtan. Rahul Sankirtan belonged to UP. He was a great scholar. He was not happy with the prevailing state of Hindu religion. He was a Hindu, he was a Brahmin of this part of UP only. He was not happy with Hinduism. He became a Buddhist. And he made a very deep study of Buddhist literature. Pali, Prakrit, Sanskrit, a great man. He has produced enormous literature on Buddhism. But then gradually, when he was studying Buddhism, writing on Buddha, practicing Buddhism, he realized that there is something wrong with Buddha. And he became a Marxist. Toward the later part of his life, he was a Marxist. He visited Russia. He wrote the famous book, Bolga Se Ganga Tak. And in one of his books, one comment of Rahul Sankirtan appealed me. This may be right, this may be wrong, I don't know. What he said that Buddha was right in recognizing that in the exploitative society of his time, there was dukkha. But Buddha was wrong. Buddha took a wrong course by trying to answer the cause of dukkha by going to a spiritual, religious or otherworldly thought. Buddha was right and Buddha was wrong. According to Rahul Sankirtan, Buddha was right in recognizing that in the present day world, in the world of his time, in society of his time, there was dukkha. But he did not correctly understand the cause of dukkha. He did not understand, either he did not understand the cause of dukkha was a social organization, a political hierarchy, or dependent nature of man on nature, epidemics, floods, lack of cooperation among people. He did not understand this. Or he was a coward. In place of attacking the ruling classes of his time, he took a different course because he was a coward and he could not say bad things to baniyas, thakurs, businessmen, traders, ruling classes. So he said, for removal of dukkha, you must follow me, which means you meditate. If you meditate, if you try to know the real truth, emptiness, shunya, once you know the shunya and your cravings go, then you will become sukhi. According to Rahul Sankirtan, that was the blunder of Buddha. Either Buddha, maybe Rahul Sankirtan will say that because Buddha had not read the Capital and other literature of Karl Marx, so he went in a wrong direction. Buddha's analysis was right, Buddha's conclusions were wrong. Analysis was right, that in this world there is dukkha, there is exploitation, there is poverty, there are diseases. And to justify his point, Rahul Sankirtan even goes to give examples and say that there was a time when some people who were under debt, they had taken money from money lenders and they were not able to repay. So some of them started joining Sangha. They became Buddhists. कितना अच्छा है ना, आपने लोन ले रखा है, you are not able to repay, क्या करें, बनिए परेशान करेंगे. Then you become a bhikkhu, you join Sangha, then nobody can touch you. You are a great follower of Buddha. Then Buddha told his juniors in the Sangha that do not accept such people, those who are under debt. Because the baniyas or the money lenders went to Buddha, Buddha, dekho what is happening. Many people who have taken loan from us, they are becoming bhikkhu and this will ruin us. So Buddha ordered that anybody who will accept such people who are under debt into Sangha, their back will be broken. उनको ठीक कर दिया जाएगा. Their back will be broken. Do not accept such people in Sangha. That means Buddha could not accept a conflict with the moneyed class of his time. There is another occasion when some people who were coward or who loved their life, who loved their family, and there is war. So the king is asking them to join war. They think that in war most people die. In those days most people will die. So they wanted some escape, and they thought that if they join Sangha, then they can avoid wars. After all, Buddha himself avoided war. Yesterday I narrated that story, what made Gautam a Buddha. He avoided war. So many soldiers thought of avoiding war by becoming a follower of Buddha. And the king went to Buddha, "Why this is happening, what do we do? Then the enemies will defeat us, they will take away everything from us, they will kill us." So Buddha ordered that no soldier will be accepted in the Sangha. Rahul Sankirtan is saying, quoting from writings of Buddha. I have also read these things in the original writings of Buddha. So this is what Buddhism is, one religion. Since in the last lecture I tried to use Marxist theory to link work or society with religion, so I am still in the same mood and I am explaining this Buddhism from that Marxist perspective. But this is a biased perspective. I am just trying to make you understand the Marxist perspective. I am not claiming that this perspective is the right perspective. It is only for making you understand what Marxism could be like that I gave the example of Rahul Sankirtan. It does not mean that I agree with Rahul Sankirtan or I say that this is the right interpretation. Now let us come to Jews. They 10 commandments. Marx says that the goal of religion is to maintain the exploitative social order. To maintain the social order, and we know that the social order is exploitative. ठीक है? In Old Testament, there are 10 commandments. God, at one time, God told Moses that the people should follow these 10 orders of God. God can order. God is everything. And God wants that the men and women whom God has made must behave in a certain manner. What are those manners? Karl Marx says that if you follow this religion, this only maintains the social order, and the social order goes in the benefit of the capitalists. So there are 10 commandments. The commandments are 1, 2, 3 up to 10. First, God spake all these words saying, I am the Lord, the God, which have brought thee out of land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. So you follow 1, 2, 3, these 10 commandments. Number 1, in place of reading as such, let me translate in English. You shall not have any God other than me before you. That means you will not follow any religion other than the religion of Jews. All religions, first of all religions will say that you are getting initiated into the best religion or the true religion. All other religions are wrong. So forget about other gods, other religions, and just follow us. Second, You should not make any image of God in any form. Of God in heaven above or on earth. You will not make idol in any form. This religion was against idolatry, against idol worship. Before this, the area in which this religion was spread, people, tribal people, original natives, forest dwellers, nomads, they believed in so many gods and goddesses. And they worshipped plant, animals, rivers, hills. And the God said, the God of Jews said that you just follow me and do not follow any other, do not make any image of God in any form. You will not, third was that you will not bow to any other God, because I am very jealous. God of Moses is very jealous God. If you follow any other God, if you are a Jewish follower, and sometime you also visit a temple of Hindus or a mosque of Muslims, then God will not feel happy. And show mercy on thousands of them who love me, means my followers. In all religions there is a concept that other followers of the same religion belong to a community, and you must respect the members of that community. You will never take the name of Lord thy God in vain ever. भगवान के बारे में गलत सलत बात नहीं करना. Maybe not even in the framework of sociology of religion, then God will be unhappy. Remember the seventh day, which is holy. Sunday is holy. I don't know if you follow what God says, then none of you should work on Sunday. Sunday is not to work, and there is a reason. You will work for 6 days only, and in 6 days you will complete all your work. All the works must be completed in 6 days. Seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. You shall not do any work. You will not do any work, your son should not do any work, your daughter should not do any work, your maid servant should not do any work, your man servant should not do any work, your cattle or even strangers in your house should not do anything. Bilkul complete band, Bharat band. On Sunday there should be complete band. Nobody can work. Men will not work, men will not work, cattle will not work, servants will not work, nobody will work. The reason is that in 6 days, means Monday to Saturday, the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, everything that is there in sea or on earth, God made them in 6 days and rested the seventh day. Therefore, Lord blessed the seventh day. Lord made 6 days for work because Lord himself worked for 6 days, and he did not work on the seventh day, he relaxed. So like that, you also relax on the seventh day. It's holy. Sunday is holy. You must relax. So you feel recreated. Mars will say that if workers do not work on Sunday, they feel recreated and go to work on Monday with renewed enthusiasm and renewed vigor, from which the capitalists benefit. Honor your father, your mother. Other things, you should not kill. Most of society, taboo actually, killing is a taboo. You should not kill. There is a taboo of killing. You should not kill. You should not commit adultery. You should not kill and you should not commit adultery. You should not steal. Chori nahi karna. You should not bear false witness against the neighbor. You should not covet the neighbor's house. And lastly, you should not covet the neighbor's wife. पड़ोसी की पत्नी को देख के मत ललचाना. Nor his man servant, nor his maid servant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that your neighbor has. Now, these are 10 commandments. There is a debate whether in Christianity also 10 commandments are to be followed or not. Some people believe, some Christian scholars believe that these 10 commandments belong only to Jews, to the Old Testament, and not to the New Testament. And there are others who say that in some or other form, these 10 commandments of the Old Testament are part of the New Testament also. On that you have complete material on all religions. So let us assume in Christianity the predominant position is that these 10 commandments are useful, only wordings are different, or they are present at different places in the New Testament, in the Bible, and all Christians, all good Christians must follow them. They have their own interpretations. Now these are the norms of society. So if religion is practiced, then religion leads to strengthening of the norms of society. Here we can clearly see that religion maintains social order. It is to maintain social order. And so what is social order? You may have nothing, your neighbor may have everything. Your neighbor may be rich, your neighbor may have wife, your neighbor may have manservant, maidservant, ox, ass. Now in place of ass, your neighbor may have color television, or the latest variety of refrigerator, or the most expensive car. You should not feel jealous about that. You should be happy in your situation. If you do not have even bread to eat, you should be happy. You should not revolt. The worker should not revolt. They should not feel jealous about the most expensive cars of their neighbors, or the capitalists, or businessmen, or the rich people, or the affluent classes. They must feel happy in what they have. Then only God will be happy. Otherwise, God will not be happy. And if God is happy, then on the day of judgment, you go to heaven, where all your desires will be fulfilled. And if you do not follow these 10 commandments, God will be unhappy. And on the day of judgment, then you will suffer the fire of hell. So sociologists see a clear connection between religion and the norms of society. That religion, this is a position, religion maintains the norms, values of society. It discourages you from revolting. It's a very good thing for the ruling classes. Now the same sentence can be interpreted in Marxist perspective as well as the other, or the functionalist perspective. For all those people for whom maintaining the norms and values of society is important, or functionalists. For functionalists, religion must be maintained, because religion reinforces or strengthens or creates motivation to follow the values and norms of society. It maintains social order. For Marxists, I said the major difference between functionalists and Marxists is that for functionalists, norms and values belong to society, and for Marxists, norms and values of society help the capitalist class. So, for Marxists, people follow religion to maintain the norms and values of a capitalist order which disproportionately benefits the upper classes or the capitalist class and disfavors the proletariats or the working classes. In religion, you find an elaborate description of what is to go to heaven and what is to go to hell. Such an elaborate description that if you really read this, then you feel energized, enthused to follow the path which will take you to heaven, and you are frightened of the idea of going to hell. And this is not confined to Christianity only. I remember when I was a child and I used to read some issues of Kalyan, published by Gita Press, Gorakhpur. I used to read, same thing which is written in Christianity, more or less same thing is written in Sanatana Dharma. Hindus also believe, majority of Hindus at least, believe in the idea of Swarg and Narak, heaven and hell, and they also believe that if you follow this path, then you will go to heaven, otherwise you will go to hell. Same idea. Descriptions of heavens and hells are also very similar. This discussion of 10 commandments says what is bad. To quote, the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these. These are bad things: adultery, fornication, uncleanliness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, sedition, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, reveling, and such like, of which I tell you before, as I have also told you in the past. And they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of God. Kingdom of God is only for those who follow the 10 commandments. Otherwise, you go to hell. Now, this is, I was reading a few initial pages of Quran from net. It starts, the first line of the Quran, in the name of Allah. In place of God, now you have Allah. Same thing. In some religion it is called Allah, in some religion God, in some religion Bhagwan, kingdom of God, Swarg, heaven, same thing. In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful. What is the character of Allah? Allah is entirely merciful, compassionate. The especially merciful. He is especially merciful. You must have seen many merciful persons. There are many merciful colleagues, there are merciful teachers, neighbors, but he is especially merciful. Nobody has so much mercy as Allah has. And therefore, praise is due to Allah, Lord of the worlds. He is the Lord of all the worlds, the entirely merciful, the especially merciful, sovereign of the day of recompense. It is you we worship, and you we ask for help, to God. It is addressed to God. O God, we worship you and we ask you only for help. Guide us to the straight path. There are 4 pillars of Islam. In 4 pillars of Islam, you have one, a belief that there is nothing except Allah. Jews say that there is no other, you must not follow any other religion. All other religions, if you follow any other religion, if you worship any other idol, you will be polluted. Islam also says the same thing, that Allah is everything especially merciful, the ultimate, the Lord of all the worlds and so on. Same tendency in other religions. If you believe in ISKCON, you believe that Krishna is the ultimate reality. Krishna consciousness is the ultimate consciousness, the ultimate reality. So Allah is everything. There is no God other than Allah. You must not bow to any other God other than Allah. And the Prophet Muhammad is the messenger of that. From time to time, messengers of God come. We call them avatar. There is a difference between the two concepts. In Christianity, God sends His Son. So God, in Christianity you have God, His Son, Son's mother, Mary, Christ, Mary, angels and saints. Mostly Christians talk of Trinity, but Christians believe in God, Son of God, Mary, who was mother of Jesus, and saints and angels, and Holy Ghost. Holy Ghost. Muslims believe that there is Allah, and from time to time, Allah sends His messengers. They are not gods. They are not sons or daughters of gods. They are messengers. From time to time, such messengers come. Even Moses was a messenger. Christ was a messenger. And the last and the most powerful of all the messengers was Prophet Muhammad. After that, no other messenger will come. Another thing is namaz, prayer, 5 times a day. You must pray 5 times. Every day you must pray 5 times. Third, that during the days of Ramzan, or Ramadan, in English we write R-A-M-D-A-N, Ramadan. In 30 days of Ramadan, and they go by lunar month, in the 30 lunar days of Ramadan, you must fast, and fasting means you should not eat anything in daytime. Night you are free. Whatever you want to eat, you can eat in the night time. But daytime you should not eat anything, you should not drink anything. And you must keep all 30 days of fasting. If you miss any one day, then there is a proportion by you miss X number of days, multiply X by this common factor, and you have to fast for so many days in sometime in the rest of the year. And fourth, Makkah. Sometime in your life, you must desire to go for pilgrimage. These are the main features of Islam. Now, when we try to define God in terms of these things, there is great, sociologists face a great difficulty in defining religion, what religion is. Because if you say that religion means belief in God, Jews, in 10 commandments, Moses is talking about God. So there is God. In Judaism, there is obviously a God, very powerful God, God who created this universe, who created you and me, earth, ocean, sky, sound, fire. So there is God. In Christianity also there is God. And Christ was son of that God. In Islam there is God, Allah. And Prophet Muhammad was the messenger of that God. And in Hinduism, also you have gods, and a large number of gods. Hinduism is one religion in which there are a large number, thousands and lakhs of gods. One can go into why Hinduism has thousands and lakhs of gods, but Hinduism has a large number of gods. Sociologists say that some religions are monotheistic. Monotheism, theism means belief in God. There are some people who are theists. means they believe in God. Among them, some are monotheists, believe in one God. There is only one God. It's like you are either a follower of Sonia Gandhi or Nitin Gadkari or Karl Marx. Buddhadev Bhattacharya or something. You cannot follow two leaders simultaneously. Hindus are, but on the other hand, Hindus are the type of people who follow Sonia Gandhi, Nitin Gadkari, as well as Buddhadev Bhattacharya. Polytheism, multiple gods. Hindus, not all Hindus, most. Jews, Christians, and Muslims. Monotheism. Hindus are polytheistic. Hindus. There are some religions in which God is absent. So religion does not mean belief in God. If you think that the term religion can be applied to something like Buddhism also, if you think that Buddhism is another religion, then it is atheistic. Atheistic. Confucianism, the religion of China, Confucianism. Before communism, Chinese believed in Confucian religion. Buddhism does not believe in any God. Though some varieties of Buddhism like Tantric Buddhism or Tibetan Buddhism have included gods and goddesses. Some of them treat Gautam Buddha himself as a god. Some have many other gods. Practicing Buddhism in Japan, in Indonesia, in Vietnam, in Korea, in China, in Burma has incorporated many gods and goddesses. But the original or the Hinian Buddhism does not have anything to do with God. So religion can have God, religion may have no God. What is that on the basis of which we define religion then? There is some element of supernatural. Some people say that there is some element of supernatural present in all religions. Some sociologists also observe that there has been a kind of transition from one kind of belief system to another as the society evolved. Like no family, large family, extended family, joint family, nuclear family, and family choices. From a situation of familylessness in ancient society, in primitive society, we have come to a situation when family can take several forms. Likewise, in people's belief systems also, corresponding changes have occurred. In ancient society, there was more of magic. Then came religion. And then came personal religion or science. And sociologists think that because of certain reasons, this science is getting replaced by a different kind of belief system, spiritualism or personal religion. So first magic, second religion, third science, fourth some kind of spiritualism. World is moving towards some kind of spiritualism other than religion. It's not religion, but it is also not science. The difference is that in magic, magic is individual. Magic is not collective. Religion is collective. When you read textbook of sociology, you will find all these differences. Religion is collective. Religion belongs to a community, a society. The way religion is celebrated, rituals, activities, going to temple, performing certain sacrifices, celebrating certain festivals, manners in which religious activities are performed, rituals, rites, they are collective, they belong to society. Magic is individual. Magic was done by primitive people, ancient people, under a false belief, under the guidance of Ojha or Tadvis in tribals. The tribal leader Tadvi or Ojha or a witch or a magician. The goal is to influence the certain events for the benefit or for the harm of some individuals. Magic is done individually in the interest of some individuals or to harm some individuals under the guidance of a magic man, while religion is collective. When you perform magic, in ancient, what is the nature of magic? Magic is performed individually in the sense that in a very secretive manner. There was an idea that when magic is being performed, no other person should come to see. I remember that when I was a child, and if I have fever, then my mother will perform magic. Some magic man will come. Sometimes magic man and religious priests are combined, 2 in 1, they are 2 in 1. Ek pe ek free. They provide religious service and they are also magic men. So they will say that if you perform these things secretly, no other person should watch. No other person should watch in a very secretive manner. Nobody, even in the family, should come to know. If you do these things, then your son's fever will go. That is magic. But when we celebrate the birthday of Christ, or we celebrate Muharram, or we celebrate birthday of Lord Krishna, we are part of a religion, because that is done collectively. In such a large country like ours, from one corner to another, millions of people celebrate the birthday of Lord Krishna or Christ, Son of God, or we celebrate Eid twice a year, Bakra Eid and the other Eid, which comes after Ramzan. So everybody, in the Muslim community, everybody keeps fast for 30 days. It's collective. Magic is individual to influence certain events. Religion is collective. And in religion there are rites, there are interpretations. This is one difference. Now gradually this religious belief is being replaced by science. And sociologists thought that in industrially advanced society, or with economic development, with education, with growth of science and technology, belief in gods and goddesses will go away and people will become secular. A process of secularization will start with industrialization. Everyone predicted, not only Marxists, but before that, functional sociologists like Emile Durkheim, they had also predicted the same thing. That in industrially advanced society, in scientifically advanced society, religion will be replaced by humanism. In those days, there was very little distinction between sociologists and socialists. Some people thought that Emile Durkheim was a socialist, though Emile Durkheim called himself a sociologist and he occupied a chair of sociology in his university. He was the first man to occupy a chair of sociology. He called himself sociologist, but many people thought that sociologists are socialists. So Emile Durkheim was also thought to be a socialist. And these people thought that when humans will really understand the nature of society, God is nothing but society. For Emile Durkheim, God is same thing as society. As members of society, we realize the constants of social groups, associations, and society on us, on our behavior, on our thought. But because we are not sociologists, an ordinary person is not a sociologist, he does not realize this, and he attributes this external force on himself to God. So God is a creation of time when people lack sociological understanding of society and nature. But when they will have sociological understanding of society, then God will go, and God will be replaced by society, and priests will be priests, monks, fathers, ulemas, Brahmins, they will be replaced by sociologists. Sociologists will be the new priests of scientific age. Everything, if important economic and political decisions are to be taken, they will be taken not in consultation with fathers or ulemas or pandits or Brahmins or astrologers. They will be taken on the basis of well designed surveys, data, hard facts, mathematical studies, simulation, modeling, and so on. To some extent that is happening also, but religion has not gone. Contrary to expectations or predictions of these people, religion has not gone, it has stayed with us. But there is a time, the nature of religion is changing in such a manner that religion is gradually replaced by spiritualism. There is a notion of, one of my PhD students in IME department is working on workplace spirituality, and there is an idea that in our times when religion has gone, in the Western world there is a feeling that religion has vanished, then what will replace religion? So social scientists or management gurus are saying that religion will be replaced by spiritualism. Scientific knowledge alone will not give people peace, harmony, fulfillment, loyalty towards work, motivation. Scientific knowledge alone does not make you productive. You need some kind of identification with the workplace. You need some degree of humaneness of work, some kind of harmony at workplace, friendship, trust, a trusting relationship with the management, with the colleagues, and a concern for them. When you combine these things, whether you believe in God or you do not believe in God, whether you go for rituals or not, whether you go for pilgrimage or not, it's not same thing as religion. To have a trusting, harmonious, fulfilling relationship with colleagues at workplace and with management is not same thing as going to pilgrimage or expecting that by doing certain magical practices or following some religious practices, your desires will be fulfilled. It's something different, and for that something different, social scientists and management gurus have given the name of workplace spirituality. So, in everything you see, as society evolved, family changed, state changed, economic organization changed, religion also changed. From magic, now change does not mean that everybody will be changed. So in 2012, you can find primitive type of state in some part of the world. Change does not mean that all families have changed. It does not mean that, in the context of family, when we say that in post-industrial, post-modern society, there is gay, lesbian family. It does not mean that everyone in modern, post-modern society has become gay or lesbian. There are many joint families which survive in 2012. Joint family is a reality. Tribal, clan, sub-clans organizations are reality. In that way, in 2012 also, you find many people believing in magic. A large number of people, at least in Asia and Africa, believing in religion. Increasing number of people believing in science, having a scientific worldview. But the trend, the direction in which our age is taking us towards is that of spirituality. And perhaps one reason is that we live in a plural society where people having different kinds of belief systems live together. Religions are juxtaposed, different economic organizations, they are all, we live in a plural society. We give choice, and the idea of spiritualism only matches with these postmodern choices. We will talk more on this issue in the next class. And on Thursday, we will do only two things: distribute your papers, not have any video making of the lecture, and we will have an open discussion. You bring your questions from all chapters of this world, starting from what is sociology to religion, and we will try to answer your questions. Thank you.